Hi, Sitting Horse Tribe members. I'm here again with Mary and her beautiful horse Decker. And Mary had a really interesting experience with the breast collar. Mary, can you tell us a short version of your story?
Yes, so the first time I tried to put the breast collar on, I went to put it on over his head and he objected really violently, like major pullback, did not like it at all. So the only way I put it on now is I have to open it up here and bring it up over his neck. And also, for whatever reason, wearing it seems to raise his anxiety just a little bit. So it's meant for being out on the trail, but we have only ever been able to use it in the arena.
Okay. Well, I think that's a really, he says he's ready to try again. That's very good, Decker. So we're going to be talking about adjusting the breast color, but also having him accept it himself, which I think he's excited to get started on. So that's actually all right. You know, I promise I won't let him chew the leather too much, but this has these big snaps there, and I'm wondering, possibly, maybe not, but possibly one of these snaps came and whacked him and kind of got him worried at some point. So I just snapped them back to themselves so they wouldn't be poking him in the eye or anything by accident. And so Mary has had this on, putting it on over his neck by undoing this section here, but I'm going to see if Decker will start to accept it and putting his head through here. If we have any worry about these snaps whacking him or getting worried about that, then I will remove them, but I'm going to try it like this first. Okay, Decker, are you ready? Would you mind if I played with him, Mary? Thank you very much. Don't worry, I have treats also. So the first thing was actually Decker coming over and taking a smell of it, yes, and putting his nose on it. That's pretty cool. I'm even going to ask him to put his head down next to it. And this is wonderful. I'm being careful not to accidentally whack him with those big snaps. But I would like him to come over to it. Good boy. Yes. Very good. And I'm actually picturing him putting his eye on it and his ear. Very good. So that it starts to be his idea to put his head on it. And then I'm going to do a little bit of rubbing here on his neck. You notice when I did that, his head came up a little bit. That's him saying, well, I don't know if I really gave permission for you to do that. So I'm going to ask him to come over and put his neck on the breast collar. That's super. Very good. And I'd like him to lower his head. So let's pretend like I'm going to take it off. I want him to lower his head as I slide that toward his ears, and it's touching his ears. So that was very good. I don't want him to think just as if I'm taking the halter off or I'm taking a blanket off. I want him to lower his head, and I'm just going to pretend like this is on him and I'm slipping it off over his ears and his eyes. That was pretty good. Yes, it was. Because it's not surprising what Mary was talking about. If at some point something pokes him in the eye or flicks him in the ear a little bit funny and he gets a little bit worried or nervous about it, then the more he panics, the more it whacks him. So the more negative experience it is. Okay, let's try again. Let's do it on this side. If we can get that idea. Got a cookie here. Yes, Mary's got a rope nicely organized. I'm pretending to put it on over his ear. Very good. He's pretty relaxed about it. I'm even going to let him touch his ear there. Good job. Let's slide it back. Now I'm going to see if I can slide it up over his head. That's pretty good. You got a little worried at the end there. So we'll see if we can deal with that. Yes. You're very tall, so you have to get shorter. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Good boy. That was better. That was better, buddy. Okay, I'm going to see if he'll start to accept it. And again, I really want him, just so you know, this rope is not wound around my arm. I really want him to start, there, he's putting his head into it, just like the bridle. That's pretty good, Decker. Good job. Over his ears. And I'm going to take it off over his ears. Good job, because the bridle can have the same negative effect when you slip it off over their ears. It can bang them in their teeth, and then they don't want to put it on either. Okay, that's getting pretty close, Decker. Good boy. That was excellent, Decker. Very, very good. And it went on. He said, well, that wasn't too bad. You're going to see the breast collar coming. You're going to get excited about it. I'm going to slide this up toward his ears. I want him to lower his head. Good. I'm massaging his ears here too because it will whack him. I want to make sure that that motion of something over his ear, see how he's lowering his head as, oh, thank you, as my hand is coming off over his ears. That's the simulated breast collar. So that looked pretty good to me. If they're tense, their ears will be really ticklish. So I'm going to ask him again to lower his head. That's a very good boy. That was very good. So I love breast collars. They give lots of cookies. But again, it's not about bribing him into it. It's really about his idea and that he remains relaxed and in a rest and digest frame of mind. That's why the cookies help so much versus if he's at all tense or worried, which he was a little bit in the beginning. Good boy. That was very good. If he's at all tense or worried, then me pushing energy at him with the breast collar is just going to make him more worried. So I think that was like an A+ breast collar putting on. Let's try to adjust it here. Good. Can you step over here? Thank you. Very good. As much as possible, I want him volunteering any of the process, saddling or putting the breast collar on. That is very, okay, he's like, hello, I stood still for that. Very good. So the breast collar, I really like this style of breast collar. With this strap over the top, it helps the breast collar not come across their shoulder, but really just follow the line of their shoulder. So that's quite a nice style. I want about a fist's width between his chest and the center of the breast collar. And I want this loose enough that it's not going to rub the inner side of his armpits. So I might suggest just maybe putting one more hole in here. And I'll just move it a little bit. There, that's about our fist width. The other thing I like to do is allow my horse to graze on the trail. So I want him to be able to put his head down and eat grass comfortably without that cutting into his neck. And a safety issue you really want to watch out for, especially this strap in the middle. You ready to bow, buddy? Is that you don't want their foot to come up and go through that strap. So it will be loose enough that it doesn't rub either side of his armpits, but it's tight enough that he's not going to be able to put his foot in it. The last thing I want you to be really aware of is that your breast collar and your cinch is directly in the middle. And I'll raise his head up so you can see that. That snap should be directly in the middle between his two front legs. If it's not, it can come over here and it will rub the inside of your horse's leg. And it looks like it's pretty well adjusted there, Decker. Very good. So we got it on. Let's do one more session of taking it off. Oh, like I said, he's ready to bow there. I'm going to be careful with this breast color because these are quite big and I really don't want to have them whack him as we're taking it off, as we had such a nice session putting on the breast color here. Now before I slide that up over his head, I'm just going to test again one more time. See that? I don't want that to happen. I want him to lower his head as I put my hand up over his ears. Very good. So that he feels that action and he automatically wants to put his head down. So that was pretty good. That was pretty good, Decker. Okay, let's try the actual breast collar. Are you ready? I have 2 cookies in it for you. You ready? I'm going to rub it around his ears. His head came up, so I'm going to wait till his head goes down. Very good. I'm rubbing it around his eyeballs. And voila, Decker. Champion. All right, Mary, why don't you come over here? Does this give you some more confidence and ideas?
Yeah, and just the head lowering is the key. Getting him to lower his head and be part of the process. I think I was trying to do it to him.
You're trying to do it to him. Not that you didn't love him or dress him up, but yes, that he's actually part of the process, just like bridling.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for watching, Sitting Horse Tribe members, and thank you, Decker. He's like, did you see me? Did you see me?
I saw you.
All right, we'll see you again soon.